We fight how we train. Why does Jaron Ennis have bad defense? Yada, yada, yada. We're going to be taking a look at a bunch of clips. We've got some very, very unique training methods that he has in here. Some very interesting stuff we're going to take a look at. But I wanted to start highlighting a few of the really, really cool stuff. Number one, take a look at his gym. Excellent, excellent, excellent gym. Notice a lot of the gyms, real quick. We fight how we train. If you don't practice throwing combinations and trying to be fast, you'll never be fast. Just practice them. Okay. Now, taking a look at his gym, look at the spacing on the heavy bags. A lot of gyms you go to, especially like really crappy gyms like the San Diego Boxing Club, they have their heavy bags like all right next to each other. None of them can swing. None of them can move around. They're right next to the wall. They're all in this tiny rack. They're all right next to each other. There's just no space, But a real professional boxing gym is going to know that only beginners hit standing heavy bags. Only beginners are trying to stop the heavy bag from moving, right? Keith Thurman, he put out that boxing lesson. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but I eviscerated his whole boxing lesson. If you guys want to check it out on the We Fight How We Train, Keith Thurman. But it's extremely important that you can move around. Even just taking a look at this, right? Boxing the bag here, getting on the line here with the 1-1-2, chasing the bag back, bop, 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 right? He's able to practice very, very long, deep sequences of chasing and getting lead foot dominance against possible southpaw opponent, or just chasing him with a 1-1-2, right? But you're not going to be able to do that stuff on a standing heavy bag. It's going to be very difficult. But there's just so many advantages to having a moving heavy bag. There are just so many. Okay, we're not going to talk about all of them because that's not what this video is about. But check out my channel. There's tons and tons of We Fight How We Train talking about that stuff on Errol Spence and all these guys. But I just wanted to highlight a little bit of his hand speed, a little bit of his stuff, and we're going to be doing a little bit of film study on his defense and some other very, very unique and clever stuff. Okay, but first, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of the film study. And actually, yeah, we'll take a break and we're going to tell a little bit of a story. All right, but one of the things we want to take a look at, okay, now again, when we're taking a look at his ability, again, Enis, incredible hand speed. Boom, boom. We saw him throwing these very, very similar punches on the heavy bag. We fight how we train, pop, 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 throwing a lot of combinations. Again, we saw his hand speed, his ability to throw punches and then re-get to the body. Again, very, very, very good. However, he doesn't always have his hands in the correct positioning. And this is a guy, as we saw him on the heavy bag, just taking a look, he's not really fighting the heavy bag, is he? Like, does he put his hands ever in a position where, like, he's maybe trying to catch a punch or block a punch, or that he naturally has a guard while he's moving around the heavy bag? Not really. We can agree that when he's like getting ready to set to punch, his hands are not like necessarily down, right? Like, but here are his hands up. And he just doesn't really have any structure to his heavy bag work or how to move around the heavy bag, or the bag is like the kind of the whole opponent here. And it doesn't give him any real opportunity to interact with his opponent's hands. Now, we're going to talk about this in a little bit more. Like, oh, it's just heavy bag work. It's just, but at the highest level, you're always trying to figure out how to get the most out of all your workouts, how to get the most out of everything. But also, everybody knows if you don't have your hands up, Now, that brings me to a little bit of a thing, actually, because that's, actually exactly one of my first boxing lessons. My coach trying to teach me to keep my hands up, and I was naturally like a power puncher when I went to the gym. I hit really hard, but if you know how power punching works, a little bit of that bow and arrowing stuff, it takes a lot of effort to exert that much force and drive that much force into the bag, and you got to figure out a way to get that effort. Now, a little plug in real quick. I'm the first coach in history to be able to figure out how punching power completely works. I have a 2-foot punching system method that's going to teach you what real striking is all about, teach you how to hit really hard, teach you how to, exactly what you're supposed to be achieving. Okay. I call it a 2-foot punching, and it's basically, right, Bruce Lee had the 1-inch punch, but it's weaponizing the 1-inch punch for boxing. Now, as gimmicky as that sounds, this is the only way that punching power works, and I've found an extremely efficient method of teaching it. so that you can learn to bridge the gap between you and somebody like Jaron Ennis in a very, very, very short manner of time. And again, it's the only way that power really works. And once you understand how punching power works, you'll understand how combat works. But that's the Fouts Boxing combat system if you guys want to check it out. But I also have a Fouts Boxing Academy, okay, which has a completely structured system on combat. And if you're looking for a structured system, you want to know exactly what you're supposed to be doing when you're standing in front of the heavy bag, right? You don't want to be standing there like an idiot. What am I supposed to be training? What am I supposed to be doing? Okay. Now, when I talk about Jaron Ennis moving around the heavy bag, he doesn't have a system. He doesn't have a set of rules to follow when he's in front of the heavy bag that are going to teach him combat. Okay. Now, as I get back into my story a little bit here, one of my first boxing lessons ever from my coach, was trying to keep my hands up. And I remember slugging the bag and trying to hit it really hard. And then my coach telling me to keep my hands up. And he's like, I'll do it in the fight. I'm just want to do this, And he's like, you're never going to do anything in the ring that you didn't practice out here. And it was a really, really, really interesting revelation. And I thought about it a lot. And I didn't know exactly what to make of that, as a young fighter, this and that. But it told me, I was like, okay, what am I supposed to be practicing then? What am I supposed to be doing? In spite of the fact that he was my coach, we literally had zero structure for our workouts. I was just a natural athlete. I trained, I worked really hard. And I worked really hard. I would run PT with the Marines. They would do that like Tuesdays and Thursdays, or like Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, whatever the schedule was. And I would go run with them, and I would go do PT with them. And I was really strong, and I was really fit, and I was not going to go to boot camp, but I was really strong and fit. And I would just go to the gym and practice fighting, what I knew, but I didn't understand what I was supposed to be doing, right? Now, if you guys are interested in learning and you want to know what you should be doing when you're standing in front of the heavy bag, what you should be doing when you're shadow boxing, what you should be doing when you're jumping rope, and you want to know how to make all of these drills and all of these workouts scalable, you want to know exactly what you're doing so that you're not wasting your time, you want completely structured drills and system of fighting that is completely cohesive and goes all together with no fake moves, no moves that don't go together. Every single complete combat system move, this whole system goes completely together. Okay, everything is an entire system, okay, to teach you. Right now, you're not just going to get a good workout, you're not just going to learn my system, but going through the process of learning these drills is going to teach you how to fight. It's going to teach you how fighting works. It's going to teach you how combat works. It's going to teach you what I've created as positional boxing. Okay, front foot positions and back foot positions. It's going to teach you how to move through them fluidly, how to do all this stuff. And again, the Fouts Boxing Academy has over 100 drills already there. And again, all designed to teach you how to fight, how to move around. Completely structured drills, right, that are layered, that will teach you how to do the next drill, to teach you to do the next drill, and to teach you the concepts behind the next drill. They're also going to teach you how punching power really works as well. All my punching power drills are going to be on there. All of the most comprehensive drills and the most important ones to practice, okay, are going to be on there. Here's some of the reviews from the drills and from the Fouts Boxing Academy. And again, they're all completely structured workouts, right? You're going to see that you want to do the drills, you're going to practice them, and you're going to know exactly what you should be doing, and you're also going to know that you are improving. Now, you can also send in your videos, right? Have them critiqued. I do weekly boxing academy videos to teach people who are sending in videos how to improve, where their mechanics are failing. Right now there's around 40 members. If you're interested in joining, there's a few different options. It's $20 to sign up. It's $20 a month. There's also a 6-month which is $100. So you'll save like $40 there. You'll save a little bit of money there, and then I think it's $160 for a year. So you'll save a bunch of money there. Or if you would like private coaching, it's $400 for the year. You'll also still be part of the Fouts Boxing Academy. And you'll be able to send in your videos, look at what other people are posting. The Fouts Boxing Academy also has all the film studies that I'm doing on Patreon available there, but it also has more film studies that we're doing, because again, it also has the training film studies that we're doing of the people who are sending in videos each week of them getting better, so you can watch them improve, watch them get better. But it's also going to have much more other content as well. And again, you'll get to see some of the people that we're working with. I don't think I have it. Yeah, I don't have it open right now. But anyway, check out the Fouts Boxing Academy, guys. Now, if you're from another country, you're not in the United States, and these numbers are, $20 a month is a little bit more, reach out to me. Okay, I have programs of assistance to help people, just like any academy or any school, right? If you are one of those people that you want a scholarship, or you need, special consideration, you want to be part of the Fouts Boxing Academy, but you can only afford so much, or you want private coaching, reach out to me, either on Facebook or Instagram, and maybe we can work something out. Again, the point of the community is to build the community. And to teach people how fighting really works. That's more important. And teach people boxing and all that fun stuff. But again, it's a very structured way to learn how fighting and combat really works. And just doing the drills is going to teach you how to see and learn and understand what's really going on in combat. And again, also, I'm going to teach you how to punch really fucking hard. Like really, 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 really hard. I also post some of my own workouts there. I'm going to be posting more of my workouts there as well. And again, there's also going to be a lot of exclusive stuff too, like boxing betting and stuff that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about boxing betting in lower level fights, because learning from lower level fights makes the rules more obvious. Because when people don't follow rules consistently, and they don't know those positions very well, and the first time they step up, they oftentimes get blasted, and you can see them really failing at those rules. So anyway, all that Fouts Boxing Academy stuff. Learn how to practice all the things you're supposed to practice in the ring. Learn how to practice them at the Fouts Boxing Academy. Again, we fight how we train. So let's go ahead and take another look at, again, some of the stuff going on in Jaron Ennis's movement. Okay, and some of the problems that he faces. Okay, one of them, very, very interesting. Why is he so close to Avanesian here? Why is he on the inside here, relying on his athleticism rather than his reach? If he was just an inch farther out, is he even in range, right? One thing that my coach told me, right? And again, having rules. If you want to learn the rules of combat, all the rules to being safe. Again, the Fouts Boxing Academy has all the structured ways to learn it, but one of the rules my coach taught me was you always want to be all the way in or all the way out. Okay? And this is a very, very interesting thing as a rule of combat. And Jaron Ennis does not adhere to this rule, right? Now, he can be all the way out of Avanesian's range, right? That's what that means. And still be in range to punch. So there's no reason to have an overlap of Avanesian's range and his range, in theory, right? However, being close to your opponent when you're both in range here puts you guys at parity. Now if you guys are both fast and you're both strong and you're both snappy, neither one of you are at advantage anymore. And now everything that you're doing is a 50-50. This is an extremely, extremely terrible place to be in a fight, where your skills, right? And again, take a look at Enis's positioning here. We're going to talk about this when we take a look at his we fight, we train. I just want to get a little bit of the evidence out. Boom, boom, boom. Now, is he all the way in? Is he all the way out? Is he going to take a step off the line? Is he going to defend himself? Is he going to pull? Is he going to block? He's going to do nothing. Now, he's going to be here. Is he all the way in? Is he all the way out? Why is he at this range? Does he have an active guard here? 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 Now he stopped and gets cracked. Relying on his athleticism, being in this position here. Avanesian's going to open up here. We can see his glove coming up before the punch makes contact. Still not fast enough. Again, is he all the way in? Is he all the way out? Is he on the correct side of the line? But no, he's squared up. And again, when we talk about this stuff, when we see some of this stuff with his defense, again, is he all the way in, all the way out? There you go, all the way in. Shouldering, gets a little bit of control, finds a little bit of a punch. Is he all the way in or all the way out? No. And he's on the line. He's not guarding the jab. He's not in a position to catch it. His hands are not in relation to his opponent, right? Just like when he's on the heavy bag, they're just in this position. He just has a perfunctory place where he puts his hands. He doesn't have a rule that teaches him where his hand is supposed to go. Okay, again, Fouts Boxing Academy. But this stops him from being able to interact with this punch in a timely fashion, even though he's also breaking the other rule of all the way in or all the way out. Now, again, we're going to talk about why he's breaking that rule again, all the way in or all the way out. Does he have a rule for his hands? Does he have a rule for all the way in or all the way out? He does not. Again, in this position, boom, breaking with that shot, breaking with the body shot. Is he still on the line? Boom, boom, boom. This guy just threw 3 right hands in a row, and Jaron Ennis got hit with the last one. Again, breaking all of these very, very interesting rules. Now, a few other things that he's going to do. Very, very interesting stuff. Throws this uppercut here. Now look at Enis controlling with the lead hand here. Posting here. This is illegal to be shoving and holding your hand here. Now, also, if we think about it conceptually, because we're, if you're on this channel and you're watching anything that I'm doing, you're probably a fighter. You probably train a little bit, or you're from Boxing Gems and you're just trying to learn more about my theory so you can teach it on your channel because you're a fraud. Because you can't do any of this stuff. You couldn't fight anybody. And the only way that you could learn as much about fighting as I know is if you could do it. So how do you get the same knowledge that I do, and I know that no one on your team can fight? None of them can do this. None of them have punching power. None of them could possibly understand the structure of a punch. It all had to be learned from someone else because you can't do this because you don't do this, right? But we all know that from this position, right, if you're going to shove somebody, right, that you're just controlling space, right? You're going to create an opening, right? But from the outside, why isn't this a punch? If there was space to get your hand there, think about it conceptually, right? Now we're going to talk about why he does this and why he has such a propensity to it, because look at him doing it. Punches him here. Is this legal, guys? Let's see. The referee is telling him not to do it here as he begins to post again and control. Now, again, we all know as fighters that if we shove a guy and we can control him and we're shoving his head like that, he can't really, and he gets control, like it's harder for him to punch us, right? Now, if Avanesian's on the level, which he is, he does actually make Ennis pay for that a few times. But it's not one of those things that's super legal. Okay? Now, again, one of those very, very common things. One of my combat rules is we don't cross the line for no reason. We don't cross the line. We always have to be having an active guard. We always have to be, and here he makes an attack. Boom, and then he moves back to the back foot position. And this is one of the rules that I have is you don't do this. You don't cross the line to this position while you're in range. If you do, you got to have your hands up or you're going to be rolling under the line or you'll be doing something. If you're going to be doing it and doing nothing, Ennis should actually be throwing a left hook himself, right? There'd be no reason in theory to go from this position here, from the body, boom, and then bring your head back across and not throw a left hook. Right? So he's definitely breaking some rules of combat here because this is a completely, absolutely nonsensical move. After throwing that punch to the body, what should he be expecting? He should be expecting to be getting attacked. So he should be defending his position, or he should be getting off the line, or he should be making a follow-up punch. But instead he winds up making a completely nonsensical move, moving across the line, breaking a rule of combat and getting hit for it. Right? Breaking a Fouts boxing rule of combat. But we got a few more clips to take a look at. Again, posting again, controlling again. It's not a real thing in boxing. A little bit right there is okay, right? A little bit right there. Now, again, why is he here in this range? Is this how you guys want to fight on the inside? Is this the position, right? Is that the correct position here? Boom. Again, is he all the way in, all the way out? Not really, right? Still hoping to find space for his own punching here. Now, again, posting. This is not legal. Shoving the guy's head. He could actually just be punching him in the face. But look at what of a whopper of a punch he lands by doing this. Now, it's very interesting because when you learn to do this stuff, and again, when you think about a little bit of the conceptually, some of the stuff that Ennis is doing here, these are problems that people who fight bigger guys don't have. You're not going to be posting and controlling a guy, right? And controlling him if he's bigger than you. Because he'll always be in range to smash you, right? This is one of those things that people do when they're ahead in the fight, right? Or the guy's like hurt or this or that, or he's, but it's not a real thing. And again, we're going to talk about why he does it when we take a look at a bit of his training. Now, again, the training clip is really unique and it's really interesting. Now, again, is he all the way in? Is he all the way out? Again, breaking the rules of combat. Again, not all the way in, not all the way out. All right, just a couple more guys. Oh, no, we're not this one here. This one here. All right. Now, another one of those things that he'll do, okay, he'll move to the ropes here, and he'll grab and he'll do this move here when he needs space, when he doesn't want to punch. Now, as we take a look here, is he moving his head? Is he have an active guard? Does he? Did he have one when he was on the heavy bag? No, not really. Primarily, not following a lot of the conceptual, you move your head with every punch, you punch one punch at a time in the beginning and the opening stage of the fights until you find openings, right? Those are your probes, right? You're looking to leash your opponent, control them with these punches as they open up holes, right? But he's more of like a combination puncher. He's going to find a hole with good timing. It's just a much more versatile version, kind of, don't take this guy's the wrong way. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Oh, Shakur Stevenson? Right? No, just kidding. But the idea that he's going to be primarily more combination based rather than throwing, using an active guard, controlling, crossing the line with his active guard and catching and finding punches as he crosses the line, free punches, right? He's not really looking for those free punches. He's looking for free punches when he can find you off balance or out of rhythm or, other stuff. But he's going to also be relying on his, size and all that stuff. Now, again, I'm not trying to talk shit about Enis because every great fighter, once they step up in competition, realizes they have something to learn. Take a look at the massive difference in Sugar Ray Leonard and Duran 1, or rather, Duran Leonard 1 and Sugar Ray Leonard Duran 2, right? Duran beat his ass. He made that shit look easy, right? Schooled him. And then Leonard figured out a little bit about what real fighting was about and kind of schooled Duran, right? But you're going to have this. You're going to get to these levels where people are really trying to win, right? And you're going to have to learn something and figure out your holes. But again, moving straight back, not really having an active guard, doesn't really have a leash, not really controlling. He can leash. He's got a good jab, strong jab. It's, very educated. But sometimes when people are putting pressure on him, and again, we're going to take a look at the film, he's just going to look to duck, spoil, and grab, right? And again, if he gets away with this in training, he's going to do it in his fights. Now, it's not legal, right, to wrap your arms around your opponent. Now, I want you to know that this is also one of those things that doesn't work when you're a smaller guy. I want you guys to know from experience, as always being the smaller guy in fights, it doesn't work if you're the smaller guy. It doesn't work. Grabbing and holding your opponent is weight bully stuff. It only works when you're bigger than your opponent. You guys see how tightly Floyd Mayweather was able to wrap that tiny little Manny Pacquiao up, right? Like a little blanket, little Pacarito, right? Turn him into a little burrito all wrapped up. So strong. If Pacquiao wanted to wrap Mayweather up like that, do you think he could? No. Right? Now, again, as this sequence kind of plays on, is he all the way in? Is he all the way out? When we take a look at his defense, right? Is he all the way in, all the way out right there? Even though he came out ahead in there, is he all the way in, all the way out? Is he choosing a side of the line, right? Which shoulder is on the line? Is he squared up? Why is he squared up right here? Because he wants to get smacked in the face. Why is he squared up here? Oh, he wants to look for his own offense, right? Again, that's a weight bully strategy, fighting at a position where you're at parity with your opponent. And again, take a look at him posting and controlling, right? Now, this one's a little bit more unique, okay? Because we see him, he's going to post. Now look at him, he's going to grab that glove and pull that glove down. So like a little bit of manual glove manipulation. Ooh, I'm a big fan of that. That's not posting. That's not the same as shoving your opponent's face. It's not the same. It's different. Okay. But and it's not the same as the one where he did that and really cracked them either. But again, look at the position that he winds up on the ropes. Okay. And then he's going to get smacked for no reason and then try to wrap his opponent up. Right. Now, again, is this real fighting? Is this real stuff? Is this, he's expecting the ref to break them, right? But no. Now, Avanesian is a little smaller. That could have been a clean shot. That could have been a hard punch, right? But there's no reason to be breaking them here. They should be fighting here, right? This is fine, okay? But the ref doesn't like the lack of action. Here's the thing. If you let them stay here, Avanesian will realize that, oh, I either do want to wrestle with Enis or I do not want to wrestle with Enis. And Enis will realize I do want to wrestle with Avanesian or I don't want to wrestle with Avanesian. So you just got to let them stay there. You got to let them work it out themselves and punch and figure it out. Not wrestle, because if they're not on the body, it's okay, right? Fighting the hands, it's hand manipulation, right? Don't let them just hold and sit and like try to jerk each other's arms. You got to be working through it, right? But notice they're locked on one side. They can punch and fight on the other, right? Now, let's see. All right. So now we're going to get into the heart of the thing. And I want to thank whoever this guy is, Brother Pooh. No, that's who he's training with. Whoever it is. Oh, YSM Sports Media. YSM Sports Media. Oh, no, this is the wrong one. Okay, just kidding. It's this one. Guys. Fight Hub. Thanks, Fight Hub. Okay, we're going to just play this. Head movement, active guard. Take a look at it. Hand position. Is his hand position in relation to his opponent in any way? No, it's very perfunctory, right? He's just throwing combinations, no head movement, bop, bop, bop. Takes an angle, bop, right? But no head movement, not really moving around with these shots. Okay. Is he all the way in, all the way out? We know he likes to fight on the inside, right? No, this is not the main part, but it's a good warm-up. Again, he fights just like this, right? A lot of combinations, a lot of control with those punches because people are really worried about his speed, right? But a primary way of getting on the line. Maybe he's more like a Manny Pacquiao, right? Now, here's the heart of it. We fight how we train, okay? Very, very common move when he's circling. Grab the guy and pin him. I missed that clip. I know I had one somewhere, but I guess I missed it somewhere. Circling away, taking a step off the line, bop, bop, shooting that too. We saw him do that a few times. And again, circling away. Now, there's going to get to a point where, again, boom, 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 right? A lot of combinations, stepping around, control, right? Boom, boom, boom. Now, if we take a look at what his coach is doing here, he's trying to protect his body by keeping his hands in here. Notice there's no threat on Jaron Ennis as he's moving around. Now, we saw him get punched in the face a few times off of his posts, right? Doing these moves and getting cracked. Again, this is a move that only works against, smaller people than you. It doesn't work against people like you, that are bigger than you. Even it almost doesn't work against people that are the same size as you. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, but against people who are bigger than you, it's not going to work hardly at all. Very, very low success rate. However, the reason that Enis doesn't have to keep his hands in relation to any opponent or this or that is because his coach is protecting his chest instead of having gloves and mitts on to attack Enis, right? So he's giving Enis a look of somebody who's, chasing him or following him around, but he's not threatening his position at all. Now, is he all the way in? Is he all the way out? Take a look at how square he is. This is exactly how he fights. Right? This is exactly why he's getting hit. It's exactly what he's doing, right? Doesn't want to fight? Wrap him up, right? Try to step around. Notice, take a look at the arm position. This is exactly what he did in the ring. Down to a T. Exactly what he did, right? And then control, take the space in the middle of the ring, right? Find opportunities to start loading up. Does he move his head after he throws a punch? Does he have any defensive responsibility? Now, we know that he can pull counter. We know he can do all that stuff when he's fighting on the outside. But when he's here looking for strikes and he's here looking for those things, he doesn't have any defensive responsibility, right? Now, I want to take this little small moment This is an excellent drill for Ennis. We can see that, obviously, we all think that Jaron Ennis is a pound for pound fighter, right? Now, real quick, I just want to touch on what's a pound for pound fighter, right? Usually it's a guy that we look at and we're like, oh, wow, man, he's really big for the division and he's really good. So he's probably going to beat everyone up in this division and then move up and beat everyone up in that division. That's pound for pound. And you just herald them. They're just great, right? Proven or not. We all recognize that he's very talented. He's fast. He has good hand speed. He's very, very sharp. He has good power. It's not great power. It's good power. We all recognize it, that he's one of those guys that's like a pound for pound worthy fighter. But there's a cost of business, right, to fighting at the highest level, right? And as we see and we're exposed to more of Jaron Ennis fighting better and better guys, right? Avanesian, no slouch, tough guy, right? Excellent journeyman. It sucks that he's not probably going to become a millionaire being a journeyman. He should, right? This is the kind of guy that you want to pay and incentivize to stay around in the division to check scrubs, right? When Devin Haney moves up to welterweight, I'd love for him to fight David Avanesian. That'd be a sick fight. Who knows who would win, right? Who wouldn't want to see that? Now, is he going to get held and grabbed and jabbed and grabbed? Like maybe, who knows, right? But when we think about things like the cost of business, right? All the way in or all the way out, the rules. One of the costs of businesses for this coach, right, is figuring out a way to make this drill better. It's not a bad drill, but it can be better. And him having his hands free, and I'm just going to play the video, him having his hands free to make attacks on Jaron Ennis to let him know that this style of striking, right, is not good, right? That there's a cost of business to throwing your punches. You have to have defensive responsibility. If you're going to sit down and take a break from your moving and your circling and you're stepping around from your opponents to throw punches, you have to protect your positions. You have to be able to have an active guard and move, and right? It can't just be throwing punches at the guy's belly protector, right? This guy has to be able to help him and herd him around, but also threaten his position, right? Now, again, what he's teaching him here, what he's able to learn about the positioning and being against the ropes, and take a look at how he's not able to rest, right? He has to be fighting all 3 minutes, right? There's no breaks. There's no sitting around. It creates a little bit of a structure for him because the guy is putting pressure on him. Now, again, as we take a look at the last 20 seconds, I don't want to go back. You guys can go back if you want. Is he all the way in or is he all the way out? Is he boxing right now? This is all inside fighting, and he's right on the line with his opponent the whole time, not following any rules. Posting, right? Again, when he's resting, right? When he doesn't want to be just pounding on the guy's chest protector. But here's the thing. When doing these drills with this guy is putting pressure on him the whole duration of the round, right? We got 59 seconds on the clock. That's his job right now. Don't give him any rest, right? 3 minutes on the clock. Jaron Ennis, the professional fighter, pound for pound, world champion, doesn't get to rest when he's tired. He still has to fight for 3 minutes, even in training. He doesn't get to be, I don't want to say this, a pussy, right? It's the cost of business, right? But when he wants to rest and he's doing bullshit, right? Here, take a look at this. Why is he wiping shit off of this thing? Because he's fucking tired. Because he's wasting time. Why is he touching here, touching here? These are controls. These are leashes, right? But we all know that if you do this in a fight, you're going to get smacked. Just like we saw Jaron Ennis do. He would get smacked when he would do this shit, sitting in front of the guy. Sometimes what happens if the guy's on the line and throws a vicious punch super fast like this? Wah! Right? What if the guy's doing that to Jaron Ennis? Well, he's doing that pity pat stuff. Well, that's what Avanesian was doing, right? But again, you're going to fight. You're going to be in the ring. You're going to fight somebody. There's a cost of business, right? You got to fight all 3 minutes. You got to move around all 3 minutes. And as we can see, some of the patterns that Jaron Ennis exhibits in his training are, I don't want to say from this, just from this. It's from a lot of the stuff that he does, right? But you can see clear patterns in the way that he structures his workout and the way that he organizes his fight plan with this gentleman following him around that are exactly the same as the way that he structures his fight plan and the way that he moves around in the ring. The way that he's not all the way in or all the way out, the way that he'll be standing in front of the guy and he puts himself in a position to be really hurt. Right? Now, if Jaron Ennis, and now here's the thing, we all know Jaron Ennis has power. We all know. So we all say, okay, well, the guy's just going to stand in front of him and it's going to knock him out. He going to knock him out. It don't matter. Anybody going to stand in front of him, he going to knock him, right? Common sense says that, right? Anybody who stands in front of Terrence Crawford is going to get knocked out. Notice after a couple rounds, Errol Spence wasn't trying to stand in front of Terrence Crawford either. He knew. So what happens when you put, when you're between a rock and a hard place, right? An immovable force meets an unstoppable object meets an immovable force, or, because they both can't have the same rule that if you stand on the line with them, he's going to knock the other one out and be able to predict the fight. We all know that Crawford has one punch, KO, power. And we saw Jaron Ennis land a lot of punches, a lot of clean shots, not getting knockouts. How often do we see Terrence Crawford really land a clean shot and not hurt or drop or knock a guy out? Right? Now, this is not Terrence Crawford versus Jaron Ennis film study. That's not what this is about. Right? But these patterns, right? These rules that he's lacking in this training routine are going to cause him serious problems as he continues to step up and fight better fighters, right? Which is normal criticism, right? But anyway, I do think that this is a great tool for him to learn, right? Getting to practice a lot of his striking. It's a great thing. Now, we're going to move over here, a little bit of his mitt work over here. I just wanted to show you guys a couple of the stuff, some really cool stuff that he works on. And again, when he's in between sequences, what is he doing? Right? Where are his hands? Are they in relation to his opponent? Are they in relation to? No. They're just in this perfunctory place that he's learned to snap and explode out of. All right? This is very, very, very important, guys. Very important. Now, pull counters. Beautiful little sequence there. Again, something that he did very well against Avanesian as well, having the pull counters, stepping jabs, the double jab, very good. Stepping jab to the body, he did really well in the fight as well. And a lot of the stuff, again, jumping on the line with the quick 1-2, very, very, very fast. Very, very, very impressive. Pop, pop, right? And again, something that he did very, very common in the fight. Again, fighting at a range, right? This is going to be much more of his boxing stuff, right? The stuff that he was doing really well. And again, does he have an active guard in between? Is he catching or blocking punches? Is he moving his head? Is he doing anything that makes it difficult to fight him or hit him, right, when he's not striking or punching, right? This is one of those things, the problems that Manny Pacquiao had as well, right? It wasn't actually that difficult to find him with punches when he needed to rest. And Jaron Ennis, being a combination fighter, right, throwing a lot of punches, especially like with his hand speed like this, who wouldn't? Right? Going around the guard. How many times did we see him do that move? Beautiful, right? Throwing a right hook. Excellent. Even trying to follow it up a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, some really cool stuff. Now, again, a lot of same side stuff too. I'm not like always the biggest fan because he's going to throw this as a combination, right? Boom, boom. Crosses the line. He stays on the line. Boom, boom. And then sometimes he gets hit here. What's the cost of business of throwing a punch? You have to defend it at the highest level. Especially with how many times we saw Jaron Ennis land a body shot and not knock a guy out. This is a dangerous position, especially if you're going to do something like bop, bop, bop. You're going to do something like bop, bow and arrow, right? And you're going to rip that shot back, and you're not going to have a block or a defense for your face, right? Because he's on the same side of the line for multiple beats, right? Again, this was a very consistent theme in his fight with Avanesian as well, that he would be stuck on one side of the line and then get hit with something silly or dumb. Now, again, I know he can move his head with his punches, but he doesn't always move his head with his punches. Usually preferring to be like, hey, I'm fucking fast anyway, so who cares? Anyway, I think that comprises all of the clips. Again, the Fouts Boxing Academy, it's the place where you want to learn how to fight. It's the place that's going to teach you how to structure your workouts. It's going to teach you how to structure your shadow boxing, your heavy bag work, your double in bag work, your jump rope. It's going to teach you how to do all these things, but I'm also going to teach you how to make them more difficult and improve them. So you can improve your workouts by doing the same exact thing that you're already doing, but just making them more difficult so you get more out of them. And also, again, it has my complete striking course available on there to teach you power punching, to teach you the rules of power punching. Not just the rules of combat, which you'll learn through the other drills, but also drills to teach you to become a better athlete, to increase your speed, your power. Okay? To teach and compile all of these things and teach them in a boxing specific manner. Okay? It's a completely cohesive program. And again, it's $20 to sign up. And if you get, a 6-month membership, it's much cheaper. Or if you get a 1-year membership, it's much, much, much cheaper. And I'm much, much, much more interested in building a community than I am of getting rich and just charging people lots of money. I want to teach people the boxing. I want to teach people my combat system. And again, there's going to be boxing betting stuff in there as well as a primary way to teach how my theories and my stuff come together to predict fights, to create what I've created to prove that I have the most cohesive and best boxing system on the planet. But I'm also going to be teaching it through film study of boxing betting and proving the rules that I teach in my drills are real. So, yeah. Also, it's going to be a great place to connect with other people who are learning the Fouts boxing system. So if you want to meet up, again, I have about maybe 10 people in there that have been with me and training with me for over a year plus, 2 years, and 3 years of some of them that know my system in and out that may be in your area. So if you're looking for somebody to hold pads for you, you're looking for someone to teach and coach you, you want to learn how fighting really works because you know that your coach sucks. Again, I have students all over the world, over 40 people already in this program, and only growing. So if you're looking, again, to find training partners, okay, to find, all this stuff. And now, again, also, if you're looking for personalized coaching, one-on-one coaching priority to your training videos, you don't just want to send your videos in and, have the whole community look at them, or you don't want to wait. You want priority. You want individual personalized videos, but still be part of the community. Still be able to post stuff. Still be able to share your work or not share your work. But also, if you also in that program, I'm also going to teach you. I can also teach you strength and conditioning and how that stuff works and how to get strong and how to get in shape. And on top of just teaching boxing, just teaching the patterns, just teaching that stuff. I have a whole curriculum for all kinds of advanced level stuff as well. So anyway, we fight how we train, guys. Come learn how to fight like the best fighters in the world at the Fouts Boxing Academy.